Brent Spiner and I have had an awesome relationship for over 20 years. I'm going to play some music in the background that illustrates the relationship that Brent and I have had. Brent made 2 music albums for me, Dreamland and Old Yellow Eyes Is Back. So I'm going to play this music in the background as I discuss the awesome relationship that Brent and I have had for over 20 years. That music in the background illustrates Brent made this music for me. So just listen to it as I talk. I was very busy yesterday and didn't have time to properly address the 3rd video that Loree McBride made at orderofthejesuits.com. But I'm going to play some music in the background that really shows what my relationship with Brent Spiner has been like. Brent and I have an awesome relationship. I've noticed that Loree McBride won't put her voice up on YouTube. You know why? It's because she called me on the phone in July 1993 after Brent Spiner made love to me on the phone and said, "Hey, bitch, what the fuck are you doing to my boyfriend?" That was her. I remember the voice clearly. It was loud, vicious, and deep. An alto voice. She sounded very frustrated. It's a little loud. Let me lower this. She sounded very frustrated, and I think it's because Brent wasn't giving her any sex. At that time, I did not realize that the alto voice was Loree McBride. I didn't even know he had her as his Paramount Studios girlfriend. So I laughed when I heard this woman and assumed it was some crazy wacko at Paramount who had a sick obsession with Brent. I knew Brent could never love a woman who would call me on the phone and talk to me like that. And I was right. He started making love to me on the phone in the spring of 1991, and I turned him down because it went against my moral convictions. Brent was really disappointed that I turned him down, and it was one of the hardest things I ever did because I wanted to go to bed with him. But I was married at the time and a very devout Christian. But Loree will not put her voice on YouTube because she is that alto-voiced woman who screamed at me in 1993. And she doesn't want the world to know that I tell the truth about her. That she forced herself onto Brent, or she raped him around September 1992. And he's been trying to get rid of her ever since, and she won't leave. She's a devoted Jesuit. Brent tells me that she roams around his yard trying to gain entrance to his house by climbing through windows and sneaking her way in through an open door. She parks her car out in his front yard and just waits for an opportunity to gain entrance to his home. Every time he tries to write me on his computer, he has to look over his shoulder and make sure she hasn't somehow got into his house. A couple weeks ago, he got so excited writing me, he forgot to make sure all his windows were closed. And she climbed in through a window and snuck up on him like a scorpion and whacked him on the head and knocked him unconscious. She actually injured him enough that she hit his brain tissue and his brain was damaged. We were able to use groundbreaking satellite technology to restore him pretty much back to normal. But this woman is a liar and a monster like most Jesuits are. When he awakened at the hospital, she caressed his head like she was so concerned over his injuries and put on this fantastic performance. Brent freaked out and told me she'd probably cover the whole thing up and that she seemed to own the police department around there. I think he feels imprisoned by Loree McBride, that he'll never be able to escape from her clutches. I feel so bad for him and have asked Vladimir Putin to arrest Loree McBride, and that we needed to put surveillance cameras around Brent's home to protect him against this insane and evil woman. I defended Brent and told him that the truth about Loree needs to get out because I fear for his life. I really believe Loree McBride is a killer. This was not the first time she injured Brent. She's injured him several times in the past year. She's furious at him because he refuses to discredit my website, and now even more so because he started an online communication with me and refuses to give it up. It's like our relationship has gone full circle. He talked to me on the phone from 1991 to 1993, and then he just listened to me all the time on the phone. I never scream at him on the phone. The only time I screamed at him was when I read in the Houston Chronicle that he had a girlfriend named Loree McBride in June 1996. I screamed at him and asked him how he could have her and me at the same time when I risked my marriage and my life to maintain my communication with him. Because at that time I was married to an emotionally abusive husband. But from 1994 to about 2000, I did all the talking, and he never talked to me, but I know he listened. When God showed me in December 1999 that Loree McBride was a Vatican agent, I cried for 3 hours on the phone and asked Brent to forgive me, because I had replaced him with Franco Nero, the Italian film star Franco Nero. By the way, Franco Nero is an awesome man, and I'm so happy for him in his marriage to Vanessa Redgrave. So in December 1999, I reinstated Brent as the love of my life. You see, from August 1996 to around December 1999, I lost all my romantic feelings for Brent because I was disgusted with him over Loree McBride and transferred those feelings to Franco Nero. And then Loree McBride tried to seduce Franco Nero in December 1996. Allergies are making my eyes itch. And this devastated Brent. I personally believe that if God had not showed me that Loree McBride was a Vatican agent, and if I had not reinstated Brent into my heart as a lover in December 1999, that it's very possible that Brent Spiner could have died of a broken heart. He's been in love with me since 1990. He's made 2 music albums for me. Oh, Yellow Eyes is back in Dreamland. That music that you're hearing in the background, that's from Dreamland. He adores me. Loree claims that I scream at him on the phone. Let me tell you, I only have a cell phone, and I never answer it except for my mother and those I know I can trust. I haven't talked to Brent on the phone since around 1993. Right now, we only have brain-to-brain and an online communication. There are too many imposters out there, and I won't take any chances. Brent and I have an awesome relationship. My allergies are acting up. It has spanned over 20 years, from 1990 to now. I don't scream at him. These are allergies. The Jesuits are up at the pollen count. And he doesn't scream at me. If anyone screams at Brent, it's Loree McBride. Oh, those allergies. The Jesuits are up in the pollen count. I'm going to have to do a second. When she accuses me of screaming at him, she's lying. Oh, my allergies. I have really bad allergies because of that yeast, which the Jesuits gave me. She's the screamer. You should have heard her on that phone in July 1993. I never heard a more vicious, evil, or loud woman than that alto-voiced Loree McBride. This is allergy, and you know why I have these allergies? Because of the Jesuits. They have my allergy records. You go check out orderofthejesuits.com. They got it from Alan Lieberman, and they'll put the pollens out there in the air, and I'm allergic to. Plus, they infected me with this yeast. And so my allergy load gets pretty high sometimes, and I get these cough spasms. And I've just learned to deal with it. You should have heard her on the phone that July 1993. I never heard a more vicious, evil, or loud woman than that alto-voiced Loree McBride that I heard on my phone in July 1993. Just because Brent Spiner called me on the phone and made love to me. My allergies are starting to clear up. He longs to be with me and to marry me in the normal sense of the word, but feels trapped by Loree McBride. She's a scorpion who won't let him go free to love the woman he really loves. I've come to terms with Jesuit obsession over my love life, and I've learned to be content with brain-to-brain loving, which is really not that bad. I find it very satisfying and intimate. It's kind of cool to be able to make love to someone and sense their emotions at the same time, which is what brain-to-brain loving is like. You are seeing right now what the Jesuits have done to my body. They actually, like I said, they know my allergy record. They got it from Alan Lieberman, and lately my allergies have been, you know, that other video where I sounded really raspy? That's all allergy. So let me replay this music and listen to Brent's music in the background. This music, I'm going to kind of just explain this music a little bit. This is what our relationship has been like. We don't scream at each other. We have an awesome, listen to the music. That is our relationship. Loree McBride is full of baloney, man. We don't scream at each other. Our relationship is like this music. Listen to it. I saw your face, and I ascended out of the commonplace into the Brent made this music album for me. He's singing about his relationship with me in this song. Loree McBride is full of baloney. We don't scream at each other. We have an awesome relationship that has spanned over 20 years. Brent, you did an awesome job of capturing our relationship in this music. When I first bought Dreamland and listened to this, I could tell he made it for me, and I just broke down and cried. I was so moved by the music. Listen to this. This music captures our relationship. Loree McBride is full of crap. She's the biggest liar. I saw your face, and I ascended. The Jesuits find my love for Brent and Brent's love for me threatening. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Because of my Catherine the Great and King David genetic profile, the Jesuits find me very threatening, especially because men like Vladimir Putin and Brent Spiner are in love with me. And I personally believe that if I did not have Brent Spiner and Vladimir Putin and these men in my life, I would probably not be alive. The only reason I'm still alive is because these men are in my life. Once the Jesuits get these men out of my life, they're going to try to get rid of me because they find me a major threat. I know. In fact, they even admit it. Go to orderofthejesuits.com and read it. They admit it. Their biggest problem, they want to kill me so bad, but they can't do it because of bad press. I've got too many famous men in love with me. That's what's keeping me alive. If it wasn't for Brent and Vladimir in my life, I don't think I'd be alive here to talk to you. I'd be dead. They'd kill me. They want to kill me. I'm on their target list. And Loree McBride's a killer. She's a very dangerous woman, and I need to expose her because if not, I may not have my Brent.
Come with me.
See that music? That music is Brent and I. Okay? Loree McBride is full of crap. She knows that we have an awesome relationship, and she finds it very threatening. And she's lying about us.